Today's adventure is called normal, everyday life. I've got to go run to my mom's house, which is, I don't know, about 2 miles down the road, get my Kubota so that we can start doing some cleanup around the house here. So, not very exciting, but sometimes it's just a day in the life. So, Al's supposed to be following me. Oh, there he is, following me and Freya. And of course, there's some traffic on my way back. Well, unfortunately, it's time to actually do some work. We've got quite a few limbs down. It has just been, I mean, truly winds coming across the plains for days. It's always kind of a choosing the right day to go ahead and pick it up so that you don't have to come behind it like the very next day and clean up again. But it'd be nice to get some of this picked up and taken care of for whenever spring comes and actually hopefully get to mow again. So this is the area that has really been the hardest for me to mow, and I don't know if you guys can see, there's just this huge vine that goes between the trees along the bank of our pond and this massive one right here. So that's what we're going to work on taking care of today. Alright, so it's been a while since we used the pole saw. This ought to be fun. So apparently the small DeWalt saw, the battery had ran out, so Al went to go and get that. I'm gonna go and take the limbs that I've already got here and go put them on one of our existing piles. Dadgummit. So, as with typical fashion, all the wood I loaded caught and fell out of the Kubota, so I had to reload it. Hopefully it will work with me this time so that I can get it done. The saddest part of not having any rain is that our pond is completely dry. Not completely. Not completely. If we can get out.
Put in 4-wheel drive.
I wanted to use the winch today. Okay, so we're going to load up the firewood that Al actually already cut, hook onto this log and drag it over to the fire pit and go from there. Alright, so Al is working on getting the chain hooked up here to the Kubota, and then we're going to hook it onto the limb, as you can see. And we're going to pull this thing out of here. Al, do you want to do it since... that little bit of wood that we just cut up and get it stacked to start curing. Al is of course bleeding. We had to go in and get a band-aid to cover that, otherwise he'd have blood everywhere, which means I get to play with the little splitter. So we picked this thing up, you guys, at Harbor Freight last year, and we have just used the heck out of it. It's super easy to use. It requires both hands, so it's a little bit safer operation, and for the types of work that we do, we don't really need a super big splitter. So here we go. Pretty good. So my brother took down a walnut tree, and I have to show you guys, look at how beautiful this walnut is when it's cut. It's almost a shame to burn it. Wow. All right, well, not too shabby for one little limb that we needed to take down so I could mow. That'll just sit this year and cure. We got plenty here to get us through this winter, so pretty good morning's work. We stopped for lunch and had some amazing pulled pork that my brother-in-law brought for us last weekend, so we turned those into barbecue sandwiches, so thanks Chris, awesome. And now we're going to just go kind of do a patrol, so to speak, to see if there's some quick limbs that we can take down. Again, everything is all about making it easier for me to mow, because there's nothing like having to constantly do this. And those of you who mow know exactly what I'm talking about. So trying to get those taken care of so that I can just sit on that mower and go. Alright, so we're going to take part of this wonderful tree, get it out of the way, because I don't know if you can tell, but you can see I wasn't even mowing here. It's just in the way. So, this tree we're working on, we're not really sure what kind it is, but man, it's got some nasty, prickly thorns, if you will, growing off of it, and one of them, of course, got me. So, you know, Al was bleeding, so now I have to bleed too. But dang, this thing it's dangerous. So we've got a couple of trees that have been growing kind of sideways here, and I think Al's just going to go ahead and cut them down. Huh? Yeah, just kind of cut them down with the chainsaw, and we'll just let them lay for a bit. Huh? Come back, get them later. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but that second one that I basically refused to fall. It is one heck of a hardwood, that's for sure. All right, folks, well, it's finally starting to sprinkle, so we're gonna have to stick a fork in this project and call it done. Yeah, we'll come back another day. We were able to get 3 of the trees that we had marked as coming down. At least they're felled. Okay, anyway, got those cut down, and we'll come back a little bit later on and actually chop it up, and man, that'll give us enough wood for another winter for sure. So anyway, a lot of fun. Thank you all for running the saw, the chainsaw, and all that kind of stuff. And we'll see you guys later.